G'day, mate. Welcome to Friday Facts 321 Countdown, and I have a version 1.0 mojo with me. It's actually a Colonel Will. Hey, mate.
Hello.
Greetings.
Yeah. What's the intro?
Obviously, Mojo turns into a Colonel Will of roundabout version 1.0.
Right.
Yeah, obviously. So, I guess there's only 3 points this Friday Facts. One, they finally set a date for version 1.0, which is the 25th of September, 2020.
20. Mm-hmm.
So we've got a date.
Put it on your calendars. Yeah, mark it on your calendar.
Yeah, you put it on your calendar. It's Friday Facts 366 because it is on a Friday.
Yep.
So, and it's somebody's already put in my Discord. There's already a command. 1.0 is 10 months, 9 days, 2 hours, 17 minutes, and 17 seconds for the time this is being recorded.
Good.
Yeah. So they've picked a date, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've looked in the forums and I've looked in Reddit, and lots of people make comments that, like, apart from the few last GUI things that we're waiting on, like the character screen, blueprints, that's the only two I can think of.
The only thing I've noticed that's missing is, they've done all graphics for a destroyed item.
Yes.
We went through the other day and set fire to every item. The only ones that are missing are mining drills in their various types and the 3 assembly machines. Everything else has got a destroyed graphic.
Okay, so there's a couple of destroyed graphics, but have we seen mining drills and assemblers in previous Friday Facts? And chat saying beacons.
Oh, and beacons, yeah.
But have we seen those actually destroyed remnants already, or we've never seen them and therefore...
I don't think they're in yet, no.
Okay.
Which is an odd thing to leave till last, but...
Are we missing high res on anything? Like, have assemblers been upgraded to high res?
I think so. They were one of the first. Them and inserters and belt, I think, were the first, because they're the ones that you see the most.
I don't remember assemblers. Just like I don't remember roboports. Like, it might have happened, I just not noticed. Because a lot of the graphics are very similar.
Yeah, I mean, how often do you spend zoomed right in on something,
Yeah.
Unless you were told,
you don't.
Oh, you saw the old and the new next to each other.
Yeah.
Would you notice? Which then begs the question, is it worth doing?
Well, it is worth doing because they double the pixel count on everything, so it needs to be done, but whether they've had the higher res images already and they've just doubled the pixel count and just shoved in the exact same sprite at a higher resolution, or whether they've done tweaks along the way like they did with power poles and a lot of other things, I don't know. But I think the general consensus between Reddit and Friday and the forums is they could basically do a 1.0 now, or very soon to now, and everybody would be happy.
Yeah, I mean, think how many people have got it on their Steam wish list or whatever, but because it's early access, won't buy it, won't touch it, are waiting for it to finish. The longer they wait, the more chance there is that a competitor might come out and beat them to the punch, and then that person goes off and
plays that game instead. Yeah,
plays that game instead. Yeah, and gets addicted to that and plays that for 8 hours.
Well, that's the thing. In the last 12 months, we have had a lot of factory-like games being released. A lot of them.
Satisfactory.
Well, Satisfactory, you were playing that Mine one, which is
sort of
the same thing.
When you play it, a Factorio player feels very at home.
Yeah.
So it's, definitely inspired by, or has some, the person that made My Industry has definitely, you can feel it.
Yeah, and we've got Automation Empire, which comes out in like 4 days, I think.
Thursday, I think it is it?
Yeah, which is like Factorio in sort of 3D. I've seen a couple of really, really early videos that are come out before the game's been released, and so far the only thing I've worked out is nobody knows how to play it. That much I know.
And that's full release, I believe. That's not early access. That's done.
I think so. Unfortunately, the dev team is a 2-man team, so there's not a lot of information about it. But going along the list, like there's also Autonauts, which just took off like a month ago, and that's sort of in the factory building genre. But it's a lot more to do with programming.
There's Factory Town that's moving along fair old clip.
Yeah, Factory Town's another one which I've played. I've played a good amount of that one, and that one is out of early access. That's in full release. It has been for, I don't know, 3-6 months now. So, I'm happy they got a version 1 release date, and I can really... I'm hoping to see a good marketing campaign around 1.0. And then the question that you're going to have is a lot of games nowadays, when version 1.0 comes out, they normally do a sale in just the first week. And Woob has a no-sale policy, so I'm wondering whether they change that.
Yeah. Would it hurt them to take 10% off for 2 days or something over that weekend?
Well, I think it's $30 now, so 10% off would bring it down to $27.
Yeah,
I would say go for it.
Yeah, to those people that were sat there waiting on Steam again with it on their
wish list, waiting for a sale. Because I know lots of people
don't know about the no sale policy.
Yeah,
game as close as we do. So wouldn't know that, and they're just constantly just say on there 10%. Oh, I've never seen this game on sale before. 10%. I'll take it.
Yes. Well, it's one of those things. I've used to do it in the past. I'd put games on a wish list and wait for a Steam sale. And most games go on sale once every 12 months. So when they went on sale, I'd go and buy a heap of them, and I'd have the Steam bill that came in next month. So yeah, I'd like to see them put on sale just for that first week, that first weekend. I guess somebody at Woob needs to make the decision. If we knock 10% off, are we going to make 10% extra sales? Which I have no idea. That's something.
That's their call, isn't it?
Yeah,
really. But I'd like them to think about it.
I would too.
If they said in a Friday Faction, decided that we've looked into it, done the maths, we decided no, we're not going to. Okay, at least you looked at it. Because, like you say, there's a marketing chance there, isn't it? Get that Steam sale, because people that have got it on their wish list will get that Steam email, and a game on your wish list
is on sale. Yeah, which now goes out to your phone if you have Steam Guard installed and notifications turned on. It pops up in Steam. It pops up in your emails. They
Steam front page, like when you're on the desktop Steam app, it's there. And so Steam would do the marketing for them, wouldn't it? If they gave that 10% sale.
Well, the other question is there going to be DLC afterwards? Because chat's already corrected me. If they drop the price by 10%, they need 11% extra sales. Yes, okay. But also, if you get more people on board and you release DLCs down the track, what happens there? Because obviously, people need to buy the original game before they're going to even worry about DLCs. And you look at games like Oxygen Not Included, which is riddled with bugs, has no performance updates, or they've done a few of them, but the performance of the game still sucks when compared to Factorio. And I know a lot of players cross over between Oxygen Not Included and Factorio. But they're doing, from the release of their very, very last, post, it looks like they're doing their one and only free update, and then everything from there is DLC. Because Clay, being a different development studio, is sort of known for their DLCs.
Sounds exactly the same model as Space Engineers have taken. Base game is pretty garbage, and they're pumping out DLCs.
Yeah, I'm not big on the DLC thing. You've really got to grab me with that base game, and unfortunately, so many games nowadays, like DLCs used to be like an expansion pack. You'd buy the original game, you'd love it. In the case of Australian dollars, it'd cost like $80 to $100 for original game and 40-ish for an expansion. But now DLCs are like, $5 to $50 for a DLC, and they could be absolutely rubbish, and you'll pay $15 or $20 for them.
And like in the case of, say, Space Engineers, it's not even functional stuff. It's a new skin or or a decorative table or something, as opposed to the bog standard one that you get with the base game. You get a fancy one type
Pass.
thing.
Pass.
So it's like, yeah, but it's what's happening. Then people are buying it.
Well, look, at least
people want that shiny stuff
with Factorio, with mods. I don't think they're going to bother with any of that sort of stuff because at least modders can just mod in fancy graphics. Yeah. And we've seen mods like the Industrial Revolution where like every graphic has been changed. So yeah, I can't see. Yeah, I can't see. A bunch of cosmetic DLCs for Factorio. One thing we might see is if we go back to Friday Facts 120, we might see the Spidertron maybe show up in a DLC.
I think Spidertron's he's gone, isn't he?
I don't know. In when they posted the roadmap,
come back with you.
Well, when they posted the roadmap back for 16, they did put Spidertron on the roadmap as a maybe, a possible, a who knows.
If the devs said that they were going to, after they've done the next Friday Facts after the 25th of September, if they said we're going to work on Spidertron, it'll be another month or so, but it's because we're full release, we're going to charge for it. Would you pay like, I don't know, $6 Australian for Spidertron to be able to craft it?
Yeah, I would. I would probably. I would.
So would I.
It's one of those Factorio meme, folk legends, whatever you want to call it, that's been hanging around forever. That it'd be worth the $5. It would.
Yeah. Or what about say half the price of Factorio again for a DLC that had a space platform that they teased like 2 years ago as a concept of late game.
Well,
if they developed that late game type space platform thing, would you pay half the price of the game again as a DLC?
See, this is something that me and Mojo spoke about last Friday Facts, either before or after the Friday Facts, I can't remember. Which, back in version 12 and 13, their allusion to the end game was something along the lines of the space exploration mod, or the other one Lord Couture's working on that's not even released yet, which is you launch the rocket and you start again in space. And that was their vision for Endgame, which over the years they've changed, they've revised. That was in Friday Facts 69 was the last time I read about it. So I don't know. If there was a DLC that was all about space and it was a proper version of like the space exploration mod, probably.
Because if they said that that's it, we're done, sales, and they felt that they weren't going to get enough continuous sales to support the dev team without, dispensing with workers or moving on to something else. If that's what kept them in business, and they could keep pumping out more Factorio content, of still bugs whenever they get found. But if that's what it meant to keep them going, then I'd be happy with that. Especially if it was proper content that they were pumping out, not just fancy skins or look at this new wall, but it's a different color now because it's made from a different material. But it's the same. Yeah, it's the same piece of wall. It's like it's a wooden wall. Oh, big deal. If it was actual stuff.
I think because Factorio has been so open with mods up until now, the only way people are going to pay for some sort of DLC is if it adds functionality that's not in the base game. So anything that we have currently, being it different colored assemblers, different recipes, anything like that, people can just mod it in, and that's one of those things that even if it is released as a DLC, and even if you require extra code to run that, I can see a lot of people, and we've seen it with like version 14 to 15 to 16, where people have taken the information in the Friday Facts and made the next version as close as they could approximate before it got released.
Done it ourselves, version 15 sim.
Yeah, well, Muppet did it for 16 to 17. We had all the science is up and running.
Changes.
we'd worked out the whole tech tree, or like 95% of it. We'd done everything. You could start playing 17, at least base-wise, before it was even released. Still playing on version 16. So, yeah, they have to add core game changes to actually have merit for people to pay for a DLC and update. And honestly, I think when 1.0 comes out, they're going to do a lot of bug fixing and all that sort of stuff, which they've been doing all the way up until now. And up until now, they've been able to maintain off existing sales the current dev team, and actually later on in this Friday Facts, they added more people to the dev team. But it's going to be sort of the end of Factorio. We're going to have to, the team's going to have to move in onto either whatever the new game idea is, or a DLC, or something. The team is going to have to.
Some more scenarios would be nice. I'd pay for a scenario. You know, like you got the wave defense now. If they put some time and effort into making some dev-approved or dev-created scenarios. But I know we've got Comfy and Redmew, and they do great scenarios, but some...
Yeah, some official scenarios, yeah.
Yeah, that just come with the game. They're just there. And, you know, you could have it where only if you have to have the DLC to be able to the map, but anyone can join it.
Yeah, well,
because you can post a save file, but you could, something along those lines.
Supreme Commander Forged Alliance did the same. That if you had Forged Alliance, you could play with the Forged Alliance units, but anybody who had the base game, didn't have the DLC, could also join your multiplayer game. They just didn't get access to those units. So, yeah, some...
Yes, same with Hearts of Iron. They do the same thing. It's good because it encourages people to play with their mate that's got it. Think, hey, how have you got that? That's really cool. Or how do I do this? And they're like, oh, it's this. It's $4. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, it's
BRB, and that's it. And then they go play with their friends.
Well, that's
get this, and off it goes.
That's the thing with digital distribution. You can say, look, it's a $5 DLC. Normally the code's pretty small, and you're like, yeah, click, done. I've now got it. It's part of my game. I'll join back in, and I'll start playing with the new stuff as well. So, yeah. I don't know.
If you force it to be separate, it can alienate people that have and don't have it, and that's bad.
It does. It splits your player base, and we'll see it occasionally when Factorio does updates, where you go in a multiplayer and an update's been out for 12, 24 hours, and half the servers are on the new update, half the servers are on the old update, half the servers are on the one before that.
We've done it. It's happened like twice in 17 with our little speedrun. They only last like 3 hours. And people come in and we're like, I can't find the server. I'm like, what version are you latest? And I'm like, well, we were when we started because there's been an update.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, I've already updated. Hold on, I'll go back.
Yep. Yeah, update again. Yeah. So,
or you get. Sorry, go.
No. Well, that's pretty much it for 1.0, isn't it?
Yeah.
1.0 is coming. Set your calendar, set your timer, join my Discord, type in ! And 1.0 and get an exact to the minute second countdown for when 1.0, well, for when the date hits in Australia, which means myself and, I don't know, Mojo will, maybe for 1.0 we'll get everybody together and we'll do a massive Friday Facts. I'm
clearing that weekend.
I'm probably clearing that whole week. I can see...
Or Friday evening.
Actually, that's a whole other question I want to cover, but mainly because we're both content creators. Your money will, at this stage, so we're going to be on 17, 18, whatever version it happens to be. Do you think they're going to hold back content for 1.0? That's the first question.
I don't think they would. I don't think there'll be much difference in 1.0.
You don't think you're going to get to 1.0 and you're going to find like the equivalent of the artillery wagon or something big and major held off for 1.0?
No, I don't think that's the whole point of the devs have been leading to this for the last 3 years. I don't think that we'll see anything different in 1.0 because they want 1.0 to be a smooth transition. That's why they're so focused on killing bugs. And they release this content when it's ready, they test it in experimental, then it goes to stable, and then they start again. I think 1.0 will be the culmination of that, in that it transitions from 17.244 or 18, version 18.
Version 0.99, you don't think there's going to be any difference between version 0.99 and version 1.0?
No.
No, okay.
I think it'll just click over as stable.
Okay.
As finished, I feel.
I'm wondering whether they slide in something. Like nothing game-changing, nothing adds new code, but I don't know. The equivalent of like the recent mod with the mine launcher or whatever it's called, or like a rocket turret, just something minor to differentiate.
I don't think they'd put anything in there that would jeopardize the integrity of the game. Like they would not want crashes, desyncs on version 1 release at all.
Yeah.
Because that would get I wouldn't if I was a dev, because if you've got a reputation of being a stable game, the last thing you want is to go version 1 and you have to release a hotfix 2 hours later because your new fancy show-off thing
is broken.
It's broken.
Yeah. Okay. I was just curious because a lot of games do that. They hold off everything and then the version 1.0 comes out and it's got a bunch of new content, and that makes people update. That makes people talk about it. It makes press about it. It's all those sorts of things. So yeah, that's the only thing I was curious about. And then as a content creator, whether we can ask for like that early access to start playing with the new version just before it actually goes out to public.
I've been trying to get early versions for the last 4 years. I've been unsuccessful every time, so...
Well, the only way you get an earlier version than what's actually released on the webpage is if you download the source code, compile it yourself. And, Will, I have all the confidence in your computer usage, but compiling code is one step above combinators, and we know how you deal with combinators.
Fire, of course.
Yep. Fire fixes everything. So
it does.
On to the rest of this Friday Facts. We have the Games Developers Session for 2019. This time, they're silver sponsors. They have Albert and Valglav, are both doing talks. So they're both doing talks at the actual conference. They're also going to have a lot of the team there. So if you see people wearing a Factorio t-shirt, go out and give them a cuddle from me. And tell them great game and have a chat to the devs because, the devs show up to not that many events compared to a lot of other larger dev studios. And we've got the updated to their pretty graphics, which is just a lot of high-res graphics. And I've seen so many complaints about this, like the yellow underground that's way too long right in the center of the picture, the refinery.
Why are you using a stack inserter to put fuel into a reactor?
That's fine. I don't have an issue with that. That seems logical. I don't know why it has to be a filter. It could just be a normal stack inserter, but sure. The refinery that's outputting lube through a pump into a heat exchanger and then back into the refinery.
Yes.
It's a modded playthrough, right?
Yeah, that combinator under the centrifuge looks a bit big.
Is it a little bit... It looks like it's... I don't know. It's not quite 1 tile by 1 tile. It's not quite 2 tiles by 1 tile. It's like 1.5 by 1.
It's an arithmetic combinator, isn't it?
I think so. I don't know. It's a smarts.
It's a smart box. You got a speaker that's not connected to anything.
Oh, there's also a yellow light here somewhere. Yeah, that has no wire conditions on it. But
no wire, yeah.
Can't you set those via logistic conditions? No. No, colours you have to be wired. Yeah.
Colours are what,
the tree that does not cut down. What's this, chat? That's a fallen over tree. They exist. They exist, Penguin. You need to play more Factorio. So there's been a lot of complaints about this, and
I just spotted another one.
What?
Underground on the right. Underground on the right that doesn't come back up.
Yeah, well that's fine. You can have pipes that go down and don't come back up. That's perfectly acceptable.
We just dumping the toxic waste into the ground, are we?
Yeah, that's... Well, look, honestly, Will, if you could, would you? And I think the answer is yes. Yeah.
I've done it in creative V type
Yep.
artwork.
We've got the long-handed inserter that's above the smelter that doesn't line up with anything.
And the weird combinator.
Yeah, underneath the weird combinator. Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What are these items? An F, an A, a C, a T? What are those items? How do
Look, you're just wishing you could craft them. Let's be honest.
There's a mod for that.
There is actually. But it's not the one the devs use. The devs use a different mod. So yeah, I love these little pictures. I know they're fake. I know they're fake every time. I think my biggest issue with them is they're like fake in Photoshop rather than just fake in game. Because they could at least make it in-game. It uses in-game graphics. They could, because I've got a screenshot tool that does it, that just ups the graphics when I take the screenshot, and makes Factorio, I don't know, do magic and put out better quality graphics than you normally see on the screen. But at least then things would line up and they'd make sense. And like that inserter just bothers me so much. That's probably the only thing that bothers me actually in all this picture. Everything else,
the refinery shenanigans bothers me.
Look, you could build it. It would never work, but you could build it. That inserter you couldn't build. The only way that inserter looks like that is if you put it down, it's unpowered, because it doesn't stretch out till it's powered. And maybe the yellow light. Yeah. So then we have, by cloning, the factory team must grow, which is a good old play on the ever so common, the factory must grow. Yep.
Must grow. Yep.
So they've got 2 new people in. They have Ian, a sound designer from the UK who's moved to Prague, and they have Alazan, who has been mentioned in the Friday Facts in the past. He's infamous for the experiments with cars on belts. You horrible, horrible, horrible person. The cars on belts was a great experiment, but if you like your UPS, never, ever, ever put cars on belts. It's interesting that they're like storage chests and they move around, so you can do a lot with them, but cars recalculate their position all the time, and if they're on a belt and moving, they're recalculating all the time. So yeah, don't put cars on belts. But yeah, Alazan had source access for a long time, and he's actually moved in with Priscilla, the what is it? Black magic coder, who tends to fix things when things go bad. I think it's Priscilla who does that. And he's working in graphics. So 2 more people on the team, which they actually updated the team page, I noticed. Which is funny because the team page was like unchanged for like.
Well, that picture at the top. The team is very old because the girl.
It's very old.
Yeah, and Hanji Q is there, I believe.
I think so.
Yes, that's in the center. Red jumper and glasses.
No, red jumper and glasses is our seating, isn't it?
No, that's
Robert. Our seating.
They got names at the bottom.
Yeah, that's our seating. Becca is the office manager, so the girl in front.
Yeah, lasted about 3 months. I feel like it was like one version of Factorio.
I thought she's still in the office. No, that's Chica. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that picture still needs to be updated desperately.
Yeah, desperately.
They had the whole team together. Like, surely everybody had lunch and took a selfie.
Yeah.
But the pictures remain unchanged, but they have updated the rest of the list. So they've retired off Togs, and they've retired off Hanzi-Q.
Yeah.
And they've added Victor and Ian down the bottom. So they've added a couple of new players. Boss Kid's been added. So yeah.
Oh, they put Hanzi-Q on the past. Special thanks. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
They haven't forgotten about him.
No, they haven't forgotten about him because they've had nothing but problems with Max ever since he left. Because they're still looking for a Mac developer, as far as I remember.
They were shouting one about one a few Friday Facts ago, which was probably like 6 months ago.
Yep, it's currently an open position on the jobs page. It's been there forever. And they have a couple of people who work off-site. So if you do Mac development and you're happy to not move, contact Woo. But yeah, I guess that's it for this Friday Facts. 321, wait another 10 months for version 1.0. Yep.
I'll see you then.
Which is, I don't know. I'm still...
Oh, come on, it's only like 3 playthroughs away.
Yeah, unfortunately, at the speed YouTube moves. Yeah. But more importantly, it means I have a finish date, so I know when I need to end the series to start a new one. Yeah. Which makes a big difference for me, because in the past we felt like it's coming soon, and soon could mean 1 month, it could mean 6 months.
I remember several times I've waited around, like not knowing what to do. It's like, is it today? No, right, we'll just play a little bit of Factorio then. But at any moment, that ping is going to go off sometime this week.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Sometimes it's like, it could be soon, and that could be a month away. It could be 3 months away. And then suddenly you find out, like, it's this Thursday. Like, no real announcement, no nothing. It's like, no, it's ready. It's done. Here it is. Go. Yeah. So, yeah, I can see a lot of Factorio content ramping up right around the 25th of September next year, which is going to be interesting. And I'm really interested as well to see what happens to the player base, because it's, the number 2... most reviewed or highly reviewed game on Steam currently.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
I think it's one behind Portal, which was offered free multiple times.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, with the explosion of the player base, whether Factorio can take the number 1 spot on Steam, which would definitely help probably long-term sales as well.
Yeah, I mean, top game on Steam, that's quite the achievement.
Yeah, well, top...
If that's the Steam achievement of all Steam achievements,
It is. And unlike other ones, it doesn't just last for 1 year. It's there permanently until somebody else knocks you off the pedestal, which is like...
Factorio 2.
Yeah, possibly.
In 12 years' time.
Nah. They'll start developing it any time, and then we'll get an alpha release, and you'll buy the alpha, and then you'll sit with early access for 10 years, and then you'll get it.
Yeah.
But we've done that already, and we've been happy, let's be honest. I don't think anybody who's bought Factorio has honestly complained and said, nah, it's not the game for me. And if they have, like, there's a 30-day return policy, so you can't argue with anything. Anyway, I think that's it. Friday Facts 321, done. Thank you guys for watching, as always. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Okay, bye.